¿Qué pasó, mi gente? It's Mark Tip 25 otra vez. In the last video, we covered the play-in tournament for the NBA playoffs. Now, I kind of want to discuss the Western Conference. As far as how the play-in shaped out, the Grizzlies and the Warriors ended up in the spots that I had originally predicted, although I didn't anticipate the Mavericks beating the Kings. I was happy for them, but yeah, I felt there was no way that the Mavericks were beating the Grizzlies considering just how big their bigs are with, Aldama and, even JJJ and Zach Edey. Yeah, they just have a really big front court. To start off with, we're going to do the Thunder and the Grizzlies. As far as this matchup is concerned, I think the Thunder are a very formidable team. They've been great all year with the potential MVP in Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. They have really good pieces. Around him, we have Caruso, we have J Dub, we have a bunch of people in this. Well, and also Chet Holmgren being back, although at times he's kind of been, a little bit back and forth in how he's been playing, but I think he's still going to provide a very essential role in this series. Um, the Grizzlies, I think they're going to give a little bit of problems, but not too much. I think overall, in the end, I think this series comes down to just overall defense, and I think that is on the Thunder side. So I think this is going to end up being a 4-1 series, with the Thunder moving on to the next round. As far as the Nuggets and the Clippers have actually been very interesting this year with Kawhi Leonard coming back into the fold and remaining relatively healthy coming into this playoff. And James Harden has been, very essential to this team, and it's been great to see. As far as the Nuggets are concerned, yeah, they've had their struggles this year, and especially now that they've fired Mike Malone, it's going to be kind of a weird situation overall. Um, and the key to this is Russell Westbrook. If Russell Westbrook can manage to not overdo things and just play within the system, I think the Nuggets can do really well. But I think now that Kawhi is back, I think he's gonna give players like Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon some fucking fits because they are just like Kawhi is an amazing defensive player, and it's gonna be exciting to see him back, and hopefully he remains healthy for a full series. Ultimately, I think it ends up being the Nuggets in six, because I think the Clippers are still trying to figure themselves out. They're a decent team, but I just don't think they have enough to beat the Nuggets. Like the only way they end up beating the Nuggets is if like all the other pieces around Jokic just start to like not hit their shots. As far as a very anticipated matchup, we have the Lakers and the Timberwolves. And last year, the Mavericks faced the Timberwolves in the playoffs and beat them in the conference finals. This year, it's different because the Timberwolves do not have Karl Anthony Towns. He is in New York now. And granted, they have still been relatively decent, but it remains to be seen if this team could push further into the playoffs. The Lakers, on the other hand, with the acquisition of Luka Doncic from the Mavericks, have been a very solid team all around, with Luka, providing a much needed boost in offense. LeBron James is still doing his thing at his age, and we have other players like Austin Reeves coming into his own, and a lot of other pieces like Vanderbilt and even Dodo has been doing quite well. That's Dorian Finney-Smith for those of you who are not aware of what we used to call him in Dallas. But I think this Lakers team is very solid, especially with the coaching of JJ Redick at the helm. It's been amazing to see how well he's been able to coach this squad. Overall, I think having players like LeBron and Luka, like with a similar play style, I think it's just going to end up being a little bit too much for the Timberwolves in the end. Granted, like last year they did beat the Nuggets, but again, this is a completely new squad, completely new year. And yeah, I just don't see Julius Randle giving them the spark that they need to continue forward into the playoffs. So I think I still think it at least gives the Lakers some bit of problems, just trying to figure things out. So I think it at least goes to 6 and the Lakers move on from there. As far as the Rockets and Warriors, the Warriors, considering that they did beat the Grizzlies in the way that they did, I just don't quite see how they can manage to remain as strong against a Rockets team that has just been killing it this year. Although they're young and inexperienced, they have a lot of grit, and it seems that they're coached very well with Ime Udoka as the coach. And I think this year might be the year that the Rockets kind of move forward into the playoffs. Although, again, I don't think the Warriors are going to go down quietly, but I just think the Warriors, given the circumstances, are just not enough. Jimmy Butler has been a decent addition, but I don't think that's going to be enough to carry them into the playoffs. I know he did a lot of great things when he was with Miami, but I just think the roster, the way it is constructed now, and the way that Steve Kerr runs the lineups, I just don't think it's going to be enough. I mean, but again, I could be wrong. Like, this could be an upset waiting to happen. But I think it's going to end up being the Rockets in 6, moving on into the playoffs for the Western Conference. So in the next round, we will be seeing the Thunder versus the Nuggets and the Lakers versus the Rockets. And I will give my predictions on those when the second round comes about. In the next video, I'll be talking about the Eastern Conference. Let me know what you think in the comments about my predictions, mi gente. Hasta la próxima. Paz.